understand in mathematical terms the fluidity of shape in space. So a donut can turn into a cup or into a cylinder, but the sphere can never turn into the cup because it has no hole. This torus, this double torus, can never turn into the cup because it has two holes. It can turn into a scissor, and it can turn into the teapot. Now, this is really interesting. I wish I was hooked up to the internet. Maybe when we get done and I show you the folder stuff on the internet, you'll see what I'm talking about with this transformation of one form into another. Because as you're working on your clay, you're going to be exploring shape and seeing how you can manipulate the density of it, the lightness of it, the use of negative and positive shapes. Okay. We talked about the light and how light affects objects, and how this one is so highly polished that it reflects its surroundings, but it reflects it in a distorted way because it is circular. With the cauldre, we talked about showing the bones, showing the idea of that it's a constructed piece, talking about the color, and how the color connotes construction. The one thing I didn't mention on this piece that we need to talk about is something else. Can anybody guess? Huh? I didn't hear what you said. Two-tone? No, this is, yeah, we talked about it being a single tone, but that because it's out in the sunlight and the sun is moving, there's constant change of the light and the casting of shadows that are dark. But look at the contour. Like a flip-flop. Yeah. What kind of contour is this? What kind of contour does this have? Contour. Contour. Outer edge.
A thin one.
Huh?
A thin, kind of a thin flat really, but it's round shaped.
Right. It's biomorphic. Remember that phrase we used? Biomorphic. So instead of presenting us with something, you know, which connotes construction and I-beams and all that stuff, he doesn't give us right angles. He gives us a very beautiful, fluid, biomorphic form, a life form, if you will. Okay? All right, let's see where we go from here. What did we end on? Okay.
I see why you do
Oh, you needed to, I wanted to remind everybody that they need to study the elements of design. They need to know this for the test. And the unifying principles. Anybody give me some elements of design? Huh?
Elements of design, like what?
That's what you're going to have to tell me on the test. Shape, color, texture. Anybody else?
Abstractness?
Line.
Lines.
Okay. Okay. So all of those things, value, the lightness or the darkness of color. What about the unifying principles? What would those be?
Not, you mean like representative?
No. It's taking those elements of design and using them in a certain way that unifies the piece. So there we're talking about repetition, variety, rhythm, balance, which is particularly important in sculpture, because we're always talking about defying gravity. How is this piece staying up in an unsupported fashion? Okay? So balance becomes very important. And then there's emphasis and economy. Those are your unifying principles, okay? You got to know those.